Hello. Week 5. Here we go. Are you more comfortable preaching the gospel on Christmas or Easter? I haven't preached on either occasion. However, my gut reaction to this question was feeling more comfortable with Christmas. This could be because Christmas has kind of already passed. But my thoughts are that it feels like more new people come on Easter. It feels like a day to invite your friends and neighbors and bring them to church, which Christmas feels more like you're getting all the believers coming back. So I know it's definitely the two biggest attendance days, but Christmas definitely feels more like everyone in the church body kind of lined up their schedule to be able to come, whereas Easter feels way more of like an invitation. And it just feels currently more comfortable to preach to already established Christians. I don't want to have to worry or have it be as present on my mind that I need to be careful with what I'm saying so as not to turn people off. I guess as I say this, it's not always me. I should give God some of the glory for making a message work. But it does feel like there's more pressure on Easter than Christmas from someone who hasn't done either. But yeah, that's just kind of what I'm feeling. So number 2, on all the preaching I've heard, I think the gospel on Easter seems to be more full. What I mean by that is I feel like Christmas overemphasizes the humanness of Jesus and the birth and the little baby Jesus, whereas Easter seems to talk about his life and resurrection. And so it feels like it paints a more full picture of what the gospel is. It's not just Jesus arriving on earth, but the need for the sacrifice for humanity. So I think the emphasis in Christmas is that Christmas is such a big deal because of what is going to happen. And that sometimes gets left out in the messages that I've heard. Biggest challenges I guess both, and something that I think gets overemphasized. So I'm kind of blending the last of the questions all together. But I think an overemphasis for both can be an overemphasis on emotions. I've been to some really great Christmas services, some really great Easter services, but I've also been to a lot where it feels like a gut punch, and it feels like the band and the pastor all coordinating to get people to feel things. I don't know if that's just a personal thing or if it's something that some of you have also felt and disliked, but I personally hate it when like movies or TV or sometimes even songs will try it, and especially when churches are like really going for that emotional pull. I'd love to say it can be done well, but a lot of the times it just feels really manipulative of trying to get people to feel the joy of the Christmas season or feel the depravity of their sin and their need for a savior and the need for a sacrifice and how glorious it is that Jesus was raised from the dead. And while that's all like fairly true, it can feel heavy-handed. And as I've mentioned in one of my other weekly posts, it feels like the preacher is trying to sell God and sell the congregation or those in attendance something. And I hate the idea that God is a product for us to be consumed. And when we're really pushing the emotion, it feels like we're trying to get people to consume God and this idea and sell them on Christianity instead of really sticking to the gospel message that is so prevalent within these two holidays. So the big challenge to kind of really hone in on number 3 for Christmas would be to focus more on the life of Jesus and the excitement that his birth brings, and not to only focus on the birth, but to really use that as a focal point to look to the future of what will happen in the narrative of the Gospels. And with Easter, I think we can focus on the death too much. So that would be the biggest challenge there, is to make sure to remember that Jesus was resurrected, and that is the joy of the holiday. We can, I think, an emphasis on the death is much better suited for like a Good Friday service. And I have heard Easter sermons being preached that sounded more like Good Friday services, of being so sad that Christ died, instead of focusing on how wonderful it is that Christ was risen again. Yeah, so I think I got a little preachy there, but it's a preaching class. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I look forward to hearing what you all thought about these questions as well. Thanks.